Highlights from Comic-Con 2014. Extreme bright bike light takes Amazon by storm. Largest Ebola virus outbreak in history happening right now in West Africa. 6 legends of the sport immortalized on Sunday by being inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. North Korea threatens to bomb the White House. These stories coming up in News Around the Web.
I'm Aisha Rigas, and I'm bringing you the top trending news from around the web. Now, in today's top sports news, I'm going to give you guys a rundown of the recent Baseball Hall of Fame induction. On Sunday, 6 of Major League Baseball's brightest stars of the last 3 decades were inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in a 3-hour ceremony at Clark Sports Center in Cooperstown, New York, before an audience of 48,000 people. This was the 3rd largest crowd ever seen at this event, right? So quickly, I'm going to run through the inductees. First up, we have Greg Maddux. Now, he was active from 1986 to 2008, and he received the most votes for his induction. Now, the peak of his career was from 1992 to 2002, during which he mostly played for the Braves. His 104.6 runs per win as a pitcher ranks 8th amongst all hurlers in the history of the game. Next up is Tom Glavine. Now, he received the 2nd highest number of votes for his induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, Glavine, who pitched alongside Maddux in Atlanta for 10 years, was the 2nd most recent pitcher to eclipse the 300-win platoon and finish with 305. This crafty lefty appeared on an impressive number of 10 All-Star teams during his 22-year career. Next up is Frank Thomas. Now, Frank spent 19 years in the major leagues, during which he was a formidable batter known for hitting for power and getting on base. He was named the American League MVP in 1993 and 1994 and was selected for 5 consecutive All-Star teams. Other inductees on Sunday were all honored for their amazing careers as managers in the major leagues with thousands of wins under their belts. These are Tony La Russa, Bobby Cox, and Joe Torre, who each hold the records for 3rd, 4th, and 5th most wins of any manager in the history of the sport, respectively. I want to know, do we have any baseball fans here? Who do you think should be nominated the next time the Baseball Hall of Fame is having an induction? And also, what's your favorite team? Let me know in the comments down below. In Market Buzz, I tell you guys about new products hitting the market that are either super different from what you're used to or that are generating quite a nice little buzz for themselves here on the internet. So today I've got to tell you guys about the #1 selling bike light on Amazon.com. Introducing the Extreme Bright Bike Light. Extremely good at lighting up extremely dark situations, and it's also extremely affordable, which is probably why it's extremely popular on Amazon.com, where it is the #1 selling bike light. Now, you wouldn't know it just by looking at this tiny light, but it actually features some super powerful and super bright LED bulbs that can light up to 500 feet in the distance. In addition to that, it's made of the highest quality military-grade aluminum and components, and it's 100% waterproof. It can be attached directly to your handlebars and can be assembled or disassembled in 30 seconds or less. So simple, even I could do it. But the best part about this light is that it comes with 3 awesome modes: full light, 50% or power save, and an eye-catching flash mode. If you're a cyclist and your riding isn't limited to the daytime, then you need to ensure that you get the Extreme Bright Bike Light to ensure your maximum safety. So head on over to Amazon.com and see what all the buzz is about. Search for Extreme Bright Bike Light or simply click on the link below. In today's health news, Ebola virus outbreak in West Africa. According to the latest news from the World Health Organization, 1,100 people have been infected with the deadly Ebola virus in a recent outbreak in West Africa. Now, the virus has already claimed the lives of 660 of the infected persons, and it continues to spread in what is the worst Ebola outbreak ever recorded. Now, the virus has spread across borders between Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, and was taken by airliner for the first time ever when a Liberian citizen, Patrick Sawyer, collapsed a week ago after flying into Lagos, which is Nigeria's most populated city. Now, 2 Americans working with charitable organizations in Liberia have also been infected by the virus, but are currently in stable condition. Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, president of Liberia, has stated that going forward, all borders of Liberia will be closed with the exception of major entry points such as the Monrovia Airport in an attempt to prevent further spread of the virus. Now, the highly contagious pathogen is passed through contact with bodily fluids of infected patients, something that's pretty hard to avoid when victims are vomiting, bleeding, or suffering from diarrhea. And of course, Ebola virus has no known cure. Now, the good news is that chances of survival improve dramatically with early detection and treatment, which has been the case for many of the victims of this outbreak, where the death rate is at 60% versus the high 90% death rate of other outbreaks. So right now we know that the virus is spreading across the continent of Africa, and one of the ways in which it got spread was because someone traveled on a plane with it from one area to another. Now we don't know who these persons have come in contact with, so it's not impossible that the virus can and will spread to America, which begs the question, what are we gonna do? What would you do if the Ebola virus got spread to America? What is your Ebola virus survival plan? Let us know in the comments down below. In international news, North Korea threatens to drop nuclear bombs on the White House. If the US imperialists threaten our sovereignty and survival, our troops will fire our nuclear-armed rockets at the White House and the Pentagon, the sources of all evil. That speech was broadcast in North Korea on Monday on state television. The threat came from Hwang Pyong-so, director of the military's General Political Bureau, during a speech to a large military rally in Pyongyang Sunday on the anniversary of the armistice that ended the 1950 to 1953 Korean War. Now, Hwang, who holds the rank of Vice Marshal in the Korean People's Army, said a recent series of South Korea and US military drills, one of which included the deployment of a nuclear-powered US aircraft carrier, had ramped up tensions. It's not the first time that North Korea has made threats of nuclear strikes on the continental US and on US military bases in the Pacific, but most experts believe it's still a long way from developing a viable intercontinental ballistic missile with the required range. What do you guys think? I mean, the experts say that they don't have the technology, but what if they do actually have it or they develop it soon? If North Korea actually drops a bomb on the White House or the Pentagon, and these are huge symbols for America, do you think it'll be the start of the Third World War? I mean, we already have American tensions with Russia, and North Korea are pretty close. Let me know what you really think is going to happen in the comments down below. In today's top entertainment story, I'm bringing you highlights from Comic-Con 2014. Now, last Saturday, thousands flocked to witness or take part in the highly successful staging of the 2014 San Diego Comic-Con International. Now, while Comic-Con was originally about showcasing primarily comic books and science fiction related film, television, and similar popular arts, the convention now includes a larger range of pop culture and entertainment elements across virtually all genres, including horror, animation, anime and manga, toys, collectible card games, video games, webcomics, and fantasy novels. So for a lot of people, the highlight of the convention is people cosplaying as their favorite fictional characters. But I want to talk about the big movie bombs that got dropped. So the 5 highlights from Comic-Con that I want to tell you guys about really quickly would be 1. The cast of Avengers showed up to talk to fans about the awesome sequel Avengers: Age of Ultron, slated to hit theaters in 2015. Now in 2012, Avengers became the fastest film to cross the $1 billion milestone at the global box office. So of course, people were freaking out when they unveiled a sneak peek at the highly anticipated sequel, which starred the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. joking over drinks, trying to pick up Thor's hammer off a table, and ended with everyone trying to save the world from Ultron. Now they also revealed that Marvel will be releasing a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in summer of 2017. Now let's bear in mind that the first Guardians of the Galaxy hits theaters this Friday, so it isn't even out yet, but it's already gaining strong reviews from critics and word of mouth from fans. 2. Game of Thrones. Now, Game of Thrones is the most watched show on HBO, and season 4 had an average gross audience of a little over 18 million. They opened their panel with a bloopers reel showing the actors forgetting their lines and tripping over props, but the highlight of their presentation was really when they unveiled the new members of the cast who will be replacing the leads killed off last season. Now, the new characters introduced for season 5, which will be traveling to Dorne, the city from which Prince Oberyn Martell hails, includes Oberyn's older brother, Doran, played by Alexander Siddig, and Doran's son, Trystane, played by Toby Sebastian. Nell Tiger-Free will play Myrcella Baratheon, who is betrothed to Trystane, and Jonathan Pryce will play the pious beacon of hope, High Sparrow. As you can imagine, the audience went wild. 3 is Christopher Nolan and Matthew McConaughey came to Comic-Con unannounced and surprised attendees with a first look at the trailer for the space exploration sci-fi flick Interstellar, which is slated for release in November of this year. Now, Nolan is a director of cult classics such as Inception and The Dark Knight, so you know he has a lot of fans at Comic-Con, but this was actually his first Comic-Con appearance. Another wildly popular TV show which was represented at Comic-Con was Sons of Anarchy. Now the show is gearing up for season 7, which is the last season to be aired in September. But they cheered up fans who are sad to see the show go by revealing that it will live on in book form. Now series creator Kurt Sutter revealed the cover art to Sons of Anarchy, Bratva by Titan Books, which is the first in a coming series and is set in the 4th season of the show. 5. Last but definitely not least, Lord of the Rings fans got a treat when Stephen Colbert came out dressed in a Middle-earth costume to moderate the Hobbit panel, and was followed by Benedict Cumberbatch, Luke Evans, Elijah Wood, and the lovely Cate Blanchett, who, along with director Peter Jackson and voice actor Andy Serkis, who plays the much-loved characters Smaug and Gollum, spoke to fans about the movie. Were you at Comic-Con? Was it as awesome as the media coverage is making it look? Out of my highlights, which one of these are you most looking forward to? Let us know in the comments down below.